You're listening to the official Minnesota Wild podcast, presented by Acrisure.
Come on, just wait till the end.
Wait till the end.
What do you think? Let's keep it interesting for a few more minutes.
For a few more minutes?
So suspense?
All right, yeah, keep it going.
Next game, maybe? Is that a possibility for that?
Yeah, I would classify him as day-to-day right now.
Suzuki is okay?
Suzuki's good to go, yep.
Bogosian back in? Or
Yes. Yep.
Petrie out?
Correct.
Yesterday was Joel's first time back on ice.
Yes.
Did he go out before the group today at all? Or?
No, the plan was to skate yesterday and then see what it was and then get some, if he was going to be able to be ready for the game tonight. It probably wouldn't have been 2 skates. So either way, we were going to have him skate yesterday and then just play tonight, or the fact that he's not going to play tonight, then we have another day tomorrow.
It looked like that you're going to stick so far with, at least going into the game with Middleton and Spurgeon as a pair.
No, Hunt and Spurgeon.
Okay,
yeah.
It will be?
Yep.
And when can you talk about just the decision there? I mean, obviously, just because of the goals that they're giving up?
No, not. I wouldn't say so much the goals. I think just a little look for both pairs. I think that Middleton and Bogo, they have some good chemistry together too. Mm-hmm. And then I think Huntsy's played pretty well, and see what he and Spurgey look like, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. And also on the PK, it looked like last game you split up Middleton in favor. I mean, it's sort of the same reason, different looks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is that Jake's having issues here, or what do you think is going on?
I don't think it's any one particular player. I think just sometimes it's it could be like a line that's it's not going the way you want it to go, and sometimes you put guys that they've played with in the past and they have some good chemistry, and it just you get going a little bit that way.
You said before that Tarasenko's a guy that challenges you sometimes. Is Zuccarello the same way in terms of you have conversations or talk about different things like that?
Yeah, what I like about them is that what I like about it is that they're experienced guys. They've been through a lot, but they're like, I really enjoy the players that, whether it's young or old, but usually the older guys are a little bit more confident in, things that they see or having discussions about the game, and those two guys certainly do that, and I value the conversations, and I think it helps. I think it helps within the team, but I also think it helps with the player-coach relationship, and players have great insights. And when you get guys that are really hockey smart and they've been around and they had a good feel for things, and sometimes it could be X's and O's, sometimes it could be, a mindset or mentality or certain things that they're seeing themselves, just even within the team, that they're not afraid to be able to have a conversation with it, which is really good. And it's beneficial, I think, for both sides.
John, with the talk about the PK yesterday, how about the power play? Just what has been the emphasis there? I know you had that first power play where you had 6 shots. I mean, did everything but score. But just where are you at with the power play right now?
I mean, I think the power play has to, we want to obviously be able to score on it. So, have good looks. I think execution, some things that we saw in last game, we're going to try to expose, and it's no different for either team. I think it's, but I will say, like it's on our penalty kill forecheck, everyone's all over. But I think in this series we're 37%. And I think our power play entering their zone, their PK is at 27%. So, we're doing. Like I said, we've done a lot of good things in the series. We haven't won a game yet, but I think when you look at certain areas, we've got to put it together and get it going.
Do you think home could do that? I mean, do you like a Game 7 mentality tonight?
I think in playoffs, every game's like a Game 7, right? Every game's important. Not one game's more important than the other. I think there's circumstances around different games, but I don't think it's home or road makes the difference. It's making sure that we're on top of our game.
Ready now?
Yeah.
Who's it starting?
See, that's how you get a quick press conference. No, Wally will be in it.
What led to that decision then?
No different than he's played really good hockey. I laugh sometimes because it's like you make a decision and for all the right reasons, and that was the plan. Like, he was a little bit tired, had the game. Gus is there. Gus came in. He's got his opportunity to play. Wally's got some rest, recovery. He's ready to go. So that's it wasn't anything that was earth-shattering from our standpoint, other than trying to do what's right for the goalies, try to do what's right for the team, and he gets back in the net tonight.
So was the plan going into the series, Wally game 1, Gus game 2, no matter what, or was it after game 1 that became the plan of let's play Gus game 2?
It was a consideration, having played. the other thing is too, as you look, and we've had, like I said before, we have two excellent goaltenders. It's been a recipe all year. Wally played a lot of hockey. That was a quick turnaround. A young guy that went through that, won the first series, and then we go in there. So it was more of, we went with them in game one, and it didn't go our way as a team. And then you have discussions with the players, your staff, your trainers, your strength coaches. You don't take these decisions lightly, but what you do, like you do in any decision, is you gather the facts and you gather the right information from the right people, and then you make a decision on what you think and you collectively think is the best thing to do, and that's what we did.
It sounds like that going into Game 2, though, that you probably always expected that you'd go back with what Paul said in Game 3. Is that fair?
I don't even remember so far back, but that's the decisions we made.
Yeah. You mentioned his Walson's personality a lot going into Game 1 of the playoffs, right? And that's kind of a factor in like how he's confident he is and how mature he is. Like, how much do you think that factor plays into how he could bounce back after sitting on a tough game for like a week, and his ability to kind of bounce back and play well like this?
Well, I guess I'll look at it differently, right? He played 6 unbelievable games. Yeah. So that's why he can come back. He played 6 unbelievable games. He won a series, and we didn't play. That game was a one-off. I think when you look at how the series has gone too and how both teams play. So to me, it's not so much, well, how's he bounce back off a tough game? It's how does he continue to do. Let's take it this way. 6 great ones to 1 that wasn't on him. It was a weird play. So there's a confidence built up in there, and I think that's where it's glass half full, glass half empty. We can focus on the loss, or we can focus on the 6 wins.
Damon Hunt, how much have you been pleased with his game so far to put him in this role tonight?
I think Huntsy's come in and played well. I think this series, sets up well for him. He's a good skating defenseman. He's a good player, I think, as we all know, and he's come in and the moment hasn't been too big for him. He's played well, and like I said, it's if he comes in and he's going to play, I still think Midzi and Spurgeon will see some ice time together too. But who Huntsy?
No, PK.
Hunts will be on the PK and things like that. But I think, as you know, like you start the game and everything goes well, and those are all the pairs and lines that we do. But I think sometimes it gets made a little bit too much of, like, well, these are the pairs and these are the lines, because they could switch, 10 minutes into the game. But I feel comfortable with where Huntsy's at, and looking forward to having him a good game tonight like the rest of our team.
John, we've talked about Hartman a little bit and kind of the maturity in his game we've seen the last 2 playoffs, but the way he's able to balance kind of being a pest and getting under team skin, but also being productive. I mean, it's kind of fun to watch at this point in his career.
Yeah, I think it's the maturity of a player. He's he's a hard player to play against. He plays the game right on the edge. He doesn't go over the edge. What I respect about just getting to know him and coaching him and seeing his evolution of that is he gets targeted at times by certain teams and certain guys, and he doesn't flinch. He can take a Jamie Benn cross check to the head and wind up in the penalty box for no reason, and he's the same guy. He's the same player, right? And that, I'd say a year and a half ago, that wasn't him. So, but I think that mindset and that focus allows him to be able to get to his game and use his true assets, which is, he's a good, hard two-way player. He's got good offensive instincts. He can score. He can play multiple situations for us. So that's why he's a valuable guy.
Or a punch in the face from Cale McCarthy.
Yeah, either one. Yeah, you name them. There's a lot.
Players say this is the most fun time, obviously, of year to be in hockey and the battle on the ice. What's the most fun part of this part of the year for you as a coach? Like, what's the most enjoyable part?
It's just I just think the competitive nature of the playoffs. is you work. You think about it when you get this far. Obviously, you have a good team. You have a great chemistry. A lot there. It's such a cohesive group. You've been basically 8.5 months together working, for the opportunity for the ultimate prize in hockey, right? Which is the Stanley Cup. And you think about, all the things you go through training camp, the long season, 82 games, the ups, the downs. But when you get to these points and these moments, in the playoffs, it's fun, and it's such a highly competitive part of the season. That's what I think drives all of us, and that's players and coaches. You're at the highest level, in the highest stakes environment, and that's what makes it so much fun.
John, is your sleep the same?
What's that?
Is your sleep the same?
I sleep good, actually. Yeah. It's actually, you get more sleep in the playoffs, to be honest, because there's less travel. You're focused in, you work, but I don't. It's good.
now that these 3 days off are over, do you take benefit from the long break, or is it more antsy to get back?
I think, you know what, it was good for us, right? We had the guys were able to take a little bit of a breath, because as I said earlier, it was, game 6, and then we're traveling the next day, and it was a quick turnaround, I just think, mentally. But I think now you guys are hungry to play. We're hungry to get back at it, and I think that's always a positive.
For an extraordinary advantage in sports, you need a game plan. For an extraordinary advantage everywhere else, all you need is Acrisure. With a high-tech human approach to insurance, cybersecurity, and more, Acrisure helps you take care of what you care about. That makes winning easy. See what Acrisure's extraordinary advantage can do for you at Acrisure.com.